Hi everybody, hope you're well. Thank you so much for joining the session. What I'm going to take you through today is just one of your employee benefits at Ground Control. We've got half an hour. I've got my clock next to me, so hopefully we'll get it done and get you guys kind of back to whatever it is that you're up to after this meeting. And we should have time for some questions at the end as well. So I'll make sure we've got a few minutes to go through those. Equally, I have got an email address just at the end of the slide deck. So if you think of a question either after the session or maybe you don't want to ask it out loud, that's fine. You can just email it over and I can help out that way. So either way, we'll get you sorted. So this is going to be an introduction to Wagestream. There may be people on this call who have heard of Wagestream already. There may be people already using Wagestream, or this could be brand new to you and hopefully give you a kind of a nice overview of how we can support you guys at Ground Control. So first things first then, what is Wagestream? So a little bit about us. We have been going for about 6 years, so quite young in the grand scheme of things. However, at the moment, we actually make work more rewarding for over 3 million people in terms of the employees that we help by offering our employee benefit. That number's growing all of the time, and we are currently the world's most widely used financial wellbeing platform. We're a charity-backed organisation, so just on the right-hand side, those are our charity backers, and we are also a certified B Corp, and we do have an impact board of leading experts who govern us, make sure that everything we do is the best it can possibly be and the most responsible. So just to kind of paint the picture, I don't want to start on sort of a negative from a negative point of view, but I think it helps paint the picture of why we exist and why we do what we do. There are an awful lot of people across the UK who are currently facing really tough economic circumstances. Just to call out a few kind of stats there's around half of the UK workforce actually don't have £300 in savings. Therefore, when there is an emergency cost, something kind of pops up that you weren't expecting, flat tire, boiler on the blink, whatever it may be, it can be really hard to find the money to cover that cost. And with that, there's a real danger of kind of falling into debt, possibly people turning to payday loans, those kind of things, or borrowing money from friends and family. 72% of people say they worry about money every week, or actually more often than weekly. So potentially a few times a week, which is a huge number. That's nearly 3/4 of the UK workforce. Inflation last year rose very, very sharply. I'm sure we're all aware, we're all feeling it, by over 10%. And we have been kind of in a bit of an ongoing cost of living crisis. Certainly around the winter months, that can be there's more pressure around heating bills and there's an awful lot of stresses that come from that. And then lastly, 1 in 7 people are financially excluded. And for frontline workers, this is actually double that number, so about 30%. And what that means, that could be anything from someone who has moved over to the UK, doesn't have a credit score and therefore doesn't have access to financial products. It could be someone who is deemed, let's say, risky by a lender, and therefore they get given these crazy interest rates if they're trying to borrow some money. It could be all sorts. So essentially someone who doesn't have access to the same financial products that the majority of people have. So yeah, a lot of dangers can come out of that one as well. So I'm going to intro you into our product and how it can really help support, certainly around those statistics I just mentioned. I should caveat first of all that we are a app-based employee benefit. So in order to access Wagestream through Ground Control, you will need to download the app on your mobile phone, your personal mobile phone, and actually sign up. There's like a few short questions, just pop in your email address, etc. And then once you've enrolled, you only need to do it the once, and then you're good to go. So first things first, this is one of our main features of the Wagestream app. We call it Track, but essentially this is a brilliant budgeting tool. So it looks a little bit like this just on the left-hand side. I apologise if it's a little bit small. We are actually in the process of improving this, making it kind of greater and better and more user-friendly. But essentially it's going to give you transparency over your pay. So you're going to be able to view your earnings. There's also a countdown to payday, which you can see at the top. I know everyone knows when payday is, but just in case you lose track. And there is also the option, and I would definitely recommend you to do this, to click onto that spending tab you can see there and actually connect up your bank account. This uses open banking. And what that means is you can then start to receive things like payment reminders for direct debits, standing orders. In addition, it gets a bit more intelligent than that in that we can, using an upgrade that's coming on Monday, we can then start to send you discounts. So for example, we can see that you do your weekly food shop at Asda. Did you know you can save 4% on your Asda shop? Cashback notifications as well we can send you, and it can also recognise when you've got subscriptions that you use that perhaps you didn't know that you've got, and that you're paying for, so that you can help save a little bit of money there. So all very clever, and yeah, all based around transparency and visibility of your earnings and your outgoings as well. This is always the most popular part of our app, consistently with all of our members. About 73% of Wagestream members actually track their wages every single week. Go in and have a little look, see what they've earned, see where they're up to, see what's what with their money, their outgoings, and help them manage their money on a regular basis. Secondly, then we have what we call Build. Build is basically like a savings pot, really good savings tool, works really well if you're someone who struggles to save, but equally if you've already got a savings pot in the background, you can have this as well. It's not a tax efficient account, it's not an ISA or anything like that, just as a side note. But the beauty of this product, jumped ahead. Beauty of this product is it essentially allows you to actually contribute to your savings pot straight from your paycheck. So you can contribute from £5 a month up to £100 a month, up to you. You can chop and change that month on month as well. If you think, you know what, this month I can do 50, but next month it's an expensive one, I'm going to do £20 next month. You've got that flexibility as well. And it's taken straight from your pay, meaning that on payday, you're paid minus the amount that you've contributed to your savings pot. So it's sort of this out of sight, out of mind kind of option there for colleagues. Once that money's added, what you'll see is it will kind of tick up over time and help you reach your savings goal, which you can set. The maximum limit on the savings pot is £1,000. However, there is nothing stopping you from withdrawing that money from your savings pot and then continuing to contribute. So it's not that you reach that £1,000 limit once and then it's sort of used up. Just free up some space and you can carry on contributing to that savings pot. If you're looking to withdraw from your savings pot, you can do that at any time you want, completely for free. And you very simply just tap on that purple withdraw button you can see at the bottom there. Choose how much you're looking to withdraw, and that's going to be in your bank account within a couple of minutes. It's super, super quick. Free to do, free to set up, free to withdraw from your savings pot, and super quick and flexible as well. I do sometimes get the question, is there any interest around the savings pot? Currently, the answer is no, just in case anyone's wondering. So yeah, currently no rate of interest on the savings pot. Third, then we have our coaching tool. Now, this is actually getting a bit of a facelift. It's going live on Monday of next week, so this is very good timing. But Coach is your one-stop shop for all things kind of financial education. So there are articles, resources, calculators, quizzes, you name it. Everything, every kind of tool that you could possibly want to help improve your financial education. What I would definitely suggest doing if you are either on the app already or perhaps thinking, I'm going to have a little explore around, is taking part in, we've got our financial health quiz at the very, very top. What this will do is it will give you like a score at the end of the quiz based upon the answers that you've inputted, and it can actually help signpost you to other useful areas within the app. In addition, what isn't showing on my screen here is just kind of, if you were to scroll down, hypothetically, there is a partnership with a company called Invest, and Invest is actually a state benefits entitlement checker. Again, completely free to do. You just enter in a short few bits of information about yourself, and Invest will come back to you and say, hey, you're entitled to, I don't know, £300 in state benefits. Whether you're already claiming state benefits or actually you're not at all and you're just looking to understand what kind of extra support there might be for you, these things do change all the time. That's a great place to have a little nosy around, and you may be entitled to something that you actually didn't realise that you were. So I'd have a look there as well. Fourth, then we have what we call flexible pay, also known as Stream. Very cheesy, but kind of the Stream and Wagestream. Quite often, if people have heard of Wagestream, this might be what they know us we're most well known for. And flexible pay is going to give colleagues the option to access up to 40% of your earnings. Oh, sorry, I've jumped ahead again. As and when they're earned. So just to be really, really clear on that, it is only based upon what you've already worked in that month. It will not allow you to access 40% of sort of the whole month ahead. So if you were paid last week, you can only access 40% of a week's worth of your earnings. What we do is when you sign up, we have a very clever integration that kind of happens in the background, which means that we're linked up with your payroll system. So we do have salary information on there. It's pulled through, and that's what allows us to kind of calculate what your 40% would be, just in case anyone's wondering that one. When you do want to stream, and if you want to stream, it is of course optional, you would use this dial just to kind of drag your finger up to the amount that you're looking to access. There is a purple transfer button that will pop up, and do note as well, only for this part of the app, there is a fee that is associated, a convenience fee, not an interest rate. This is not a loan because you're not borrowing any money, you're accessing money that you have already earned, but there is a convenience fee in order for us to process this. That is a flat fee of £1.95. So it will tell you that on the screen as well, by the way. So each stream is subject to that £1.95 fee. When you're ready, tap the transfer button and that amount is going to be in your bank account within a couple of minutes. It's super, super quick. And again, similarly to the build product, on payday, you're going to be paid automatically minus the amount that you may have streamed plus the £1.95. So there's no need to worry about sort of that, how do I make the repayment? When do I need to make the repayment by? That kind of thing. It's all done for you. Finally then, and this is an important one, there is no impact to credit score or access to any other financial products. So the transfers just appear like regular salary payments. And actually, if you do stream and you get the money paid to you early on your in your bank statement, it will show as a payment from Ground Control, not from Wagestream, just in case that's handy info there. Flexible pay is really good for anything like an emergency expense that pops up that you don't have the savings for. Equally, we do an awful lot of surveys and research and impact assessments to make sure that what we do is the best it can be. And we have a lot of colleagues tell us that they have used Wagestream to cycle down debt. We have people use it a bit like a credit card, but maybe where they don't have the option to a credit card. So use that payment from their next paycheck now. Some people just prefer to pay themselves weekly. They find it easier to manage their finances that way. Or of course, there's people who've started a brand new job and maybe the paydays don't quite align and they've got 6 weeks between paydays, but bills and rent to pay. They've got this option as a backup. So all sorts of options, as I said, completely optional. If you wanted to go onto Wagestream and just use the build product or the coaching tool and check out the discounts, absolutely fine, and not look at Stream at all, but it's there as an option should you need it. So how does Wagestream work? Right, so I've already mentioned this just in the very beginning of the presentation, but we are fully app-based, so you will need to download the Wagestream app either on iOS, the App Store or Google Play, whatever is your kind of method of doing so. You will need to enter in your email address to kick things off. This is the enrolment process here, and this is very, very boring but necessary. There is a terms of service that you will need to read and accept that you've sort of read and accepted those. There is then a short period of time whereby your sign up or your enrolment will be pending. We try and get those done as soon as possible, but essentially it's just kind of a push and pull of the information going, yep, Joe Bloggs works for Ground Control. And do note as well, if you are trying to enroll in Wagestream quite close to payday, normally around 3 to 4 days before payday, it just takes a little bit longer because there's what we call a blackout period or a lockout period, and your enrolment will complete on payday. So don't panic. We will tell you as soon as your enrolment's confirmed. 9 times out of 10, it's pretty quick. It's within sort of 24, 48 hours, but then slightly longer ahead of payday. So support to you guys and your team members, your colleagues, just in case you have kind of questions or want some extra clarity on something. Our support is around the clock, as you can see. There's 2 ways of contacting our support team. You can either do it once you're enrolled already through the app, just a little chat box there, or we do have an email address, which I have popped on my very last screen slide as well. So I'll have that up when we answer questions at the end. But yes, it is round the clock support from our customer support team. So do shout if you need anything at all, and they'll get back to you really quickly, as quickly as they can. So I've already mentioned some of these user cases that we hear from members that use Wagestream around kind of what they use flexible pay for, what challenges it really helps them to solve. So unexpected expenses, this is really for those people who don't have the savings buffer there, they don't have the rainy day fund, and life happens and they just need a little bit of an injection of cash, and then it actually is money they've already earned, they can use, they don't need to wait until payday. Financial exclusion, I talked about that at the very beginning, but actually 60% of our active members at the moment, I'll just go back, don't have access to a low interest product. They are kind of, I suppose, affected by being deemed risky and therefore don't get the same financial products as some of us. Visibility and planning, around 60% of Wagestream members using filters built around pay. And there's also actually a link with people who save money with Wagestream, so use our bill product, and those who stream. So actually we can build in nudges and things like that so that when someone streams, we can say, hey, do you know we've also got a bill pot and a savings product? Why don't you set that up? You can withdraw completely for free. So helping reinforce the savings habit. Weekly budgeting we've talked about as well, and then onto aligning income, which is around possibly where maybe your money coming in doesn't quite align with your outgoings, bills, rent, etc. Makes it easier to manage. And then lastly, cycling down debt with around 20% of our members using payday loans before using Wagestream and have actually managed to come off of those and help pay down those outstanding amounts of debt with crazy interest rates as well. So do tell your colleagues about Wagestream, whether you're kind of in the breakout room or between shifts, whatever it may be. Let your team members know and your friends know that there is this benefit here. And then finally as well, I was just going to finish with some winter tips with Wagestream, just to take you through some nice little bits around how we can support you. So I've got 3 main tips. Number 1, keep an eye on your credit score. So do regularly check your credit score. There's 3 options there, but I know there's more tools out there. But just as an example, we've got Experian, Equifax and TransUnion are just 3 kind of the most well-known credit score checkers. Do be aware they will have slightly different information. So I would suggest keeping an eye on all 3, but actually it can be a really good indicator of what kind of credit you could be eligible to access just in general. So yeah, do that if you haven't already. I know some of them have phone apps as well. So you can literally kind of check your credit score on the go and receive an update when your credit score changes. Number 2, check you're paying the lowest possible for your bills. And actually, we can really help you with this. And I'll talk you through how in a moment. But often when spending a bit of time actually researching what options are available, possibly using those comparison sites, those kind of things, you can find some much better deals on everything from car insurance to internet bills. So some really good sites you can have a look at. You've got USwitch, you've got Compare the Market and Money Supermarket. I'll share these tips around afterwards as well if that's helpful for anyone who's missed the session. But actually where Wagestream can help is that if you did decide to link up your bank account with this new upgrade that we're making on Monday, we can actually recognise or give kind of recommendations around where you can save money on your bills as well through the app. So we'll just send you a little notification and say, hey, you might be saving money here, and that might just help you save a few pounds. Third tip then, don't be afraid to ask for help. Very simple. You can come to us to ask for help if you'd like. So any support around your finances, any kind of questions you've got on money, there may be an article that will help you, a resource that can help you, or even kind of directions through to Step Change, the UK's leading debt management charity. You name it, there should be something on the coach part of the app for you. I've mentioned as well Invest, which is where you can see what your state benefits entitlement might be and see if you're entitled to extra support there. So yeah, don't be afraid to reach out if you do have any kind of further questions around finances. What I'm going to do, I've just left the QR code up there. If any of you have your mobile phones next to you and you did want to just scan the QR code, this will just allow you to download the Wagestream app. However, you don't need the QR code to download it. You can just type it into the Apple Store or Google Play like I mentioned earlier. But just in case, I could just leave that up for a couple of seconds. Okie dokie, and then that should be my last slide. Yes. So how long have we got for questions? We have got about 8 minutes for questions. It's completely up to you if you would like to either come off mute or maybe pop it into the chat box and Chloe can kind of read it out and I can answer them. Oh, I'll go back here and now. Alternatively, that is the email address I mentioned earlier to contact our help team. That is help@wagestream.co.uk, and this will come straight into our support team and they can answer any question you've got, whether it be on the app itself, how to enroll, or something more kind of specific. Do note we can't give financial advice, just as a side note there, but there's an awful lot of resources to be able to help guide you, point you in the right direction. So I will open the floor up. If there's anyone who wanted to ask a question, please do go for it.
Got a couple of questions in the chat already, one of which is the same question we had in the last session actually. Can you link up more than one bank account?
Yes, you can link up more than one bank account. Yes. Yep.
And the second one, which is, can you choose which bank account savings go back into, or does it have to be the same as your wages?
Yes, it is the same one as your wages. So essentially, there's only one set of bank details. It's set of bank details where your salary is paid to. It's the same set of bank details there. So that is the your salary is paid into that, and also that's how we would reconcile any streams. But yes, it would have to be the same bank account for any withdrawals from your bill pot. But you can, I suppose, then move it on. Move it around once it's in that bank account there.
Okay, thank you. I haven't got any hands raised or any more questions in the chat, so I'll give it a couple more seconds. But if there's no more questions, thank you very much, Gabby. We will make the recording available as well. And have a great afternoon. Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for your
Bye.
time. Bye.